Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grand Line. I am your host, Dreadnought X. With me, as always, is the One Punch Man himself, Count Vamps. On tonight's episode, we discuss High Score Girl, Amazon's Dororo, and some more badass Baki the Grappler. Episode 3 starts right now. Alright, here we are. What's going on, man?
Just having a good old time watching anime this week and reading some manga. So I got to test out my new phone with the manga app, which was quite nice. So it was good.
Oh, nice. So you got a new phone?
Yeah, Pixel 3.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was just good week overall for anime and all the other stuff. So can't complain. How about yourself?
Same here, man. I've been enjoying a lot of anime this week. I've been trying to catch up on a few older ones and finish off a couple seasons of some ones I've been watching, so I can kind of move on to some other things. And it's been a good week.
Yeah, same here. with anime watching anyway.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. Let's start here about our kind of like our homework from last week. We were we were both gonna watch 3 episodes of Every time I say High School Girl, High Score Girl.
It's definitely. I think it's because your brain is like, it's High School Girl. Like, no.
Yeah,
I do the same thing.
So how did it go for you?
I mean, I watched it, and I will admit it was something I was interested in seeing, but something I probably wouldn't have gotten around to. So
yeah,
I watched it, and I thought it was really good. Like, I actually really enjoyed it. The game footage is a really cool touch in it, I reckon. And the characters are interesting. I mean, I have no complaints. I actually recommend people watch it. In my personal opinion, I thought it was very solid. It had a very good, like, because I'd say the first 3 episodes are sort of like a mini arc.
Right,
so it was actually a really good kind of set of episodes to watch to sort of get an idea of what the show is about.
Yeah, you'd probably be like really hard pressed to get even probably after 3, you'd probably be hard pressed to have a good grasp of what the story would be, because like we're kind of left on a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of episode 3, right? So
yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. So I definitely think I'll end up watching the rest of it. I've just got to get around to getting the time to do it. So. But no, I thought it was great. I thought the intro was pretty good. I actually liked the intro. I thought it suited the show. I mean, so good intro. The outro wasn't bad, but normally outros aren't super fantastic. So.
Right.
And the storyline is really good. I like the characters. I watched the Japanese dub. I'm not sure what you did. You do English or did you go Japanese?
No, I'm usually a English dub man myself.
But I think that's good though, because that means we can cover both.
Yeah,
dubs,
for sure.
Which is quite nice. So that's always a good thing. So what was the English voice acting like? Curiously.
I thought it was pretty good. Like I had a hard time. Like I got through like three-quarters through the first episode at my first time watching it, and the game footage grabbed me like right away. Like seeing all throughout the first three episodes, seeing all like the real, and that's like the real actual game footage, right? Straight from those games.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And also, all the little strategies that I was talking about are legitimate strategies that are used while playing those games.
Oh yeah, I thought that was pretty cool touch too. Like how the narrator would just all of a sudden break into these like strategies that people use during these games, and it was totally like, I'd never heard some of these before, like the guile or the Zangief stuff. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the guile defensive strategy, which is when you hold diagonally down.
Yeah.
Like away from your opponent, because you can you can Sonic Boom or Flash Kick
or
from
sweep,
that position. Yeah, so it's a very strong position for Guile to take.
Yeah.
I thought the gaming stuff was on point. I think the way they handled the TurboGrafx 16/PC engine was pretty good as well.
Yeah. Because
that they called it the TurboGrafx 16 in the subtitles, even though the character was saying PC Engine in the Japanese dub. But I knew that they were the same console.
Right. So, yeah. See, I did, and I was like, I seen the TurboGrafx 16, and I was like, okay, and I recognized like Bonk's Adventure in some of the games, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was interesting, and the reason why I liked it, because normally I'm a big fan of subtitles matching what the character's saying.
Right.
I find it a little off-putting. But in this case, I understand, because I'd say more Western people who would obviously be reading the subtitles would know it as the TurboGrafx 16 over PC.
Right.
So it's a smart move. Because then you can obviously, it's like, what the hell's a PC engine? So you pause the episode, you can Google it, and you're like,
go look it up, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was a smart decision to have.
Yeah, I thought they did a good. They used game footage really good. I thought throughout the three episodes. I was looking forward to seeing what they do with that in the future. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing if they bring in Super Street Fighter at some point, Super Street Fighter 2, because that's kind of like when Street Fighter 2 was at its height. So it'd be cool to see how the characters react to that as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm so used to watching like a certain type of anime, like a magic fantasy type of deal. So watching this one, I got through like three-quarters of the first episode, and I was kind of like, oh, it's got like teens, and it's like real life problems, and it's modern. There's no things that I usually get into. So by the time I got through like three-quarters of the first episode, I had a hard time. Like, I kept putting it off coming back to it, and then I finally came back to it and finished off that episode and watched the next couple. And by the time I finished that third episode, I went from like, just wanting to get it over with to like looking forward to like finishing it now, because that story arc that you talked about is pretty good. So it kind of like wanted me coming back now to see what's going to happen, and kind of got me engaged in those characters, at least the two main characters anyways.
Yeah, I thought it was really good, and I particularly think that I guess the high score girl herself, she's not voiced, but actually I'm not sure if she's voiced in the English version or not, but she isn't in the
she was Japanese pretty silent.
Yeah, but they give her a lot of personality as well,
right.
Which is pretty impressive for someone who doesn't talk.
Yeah, do you think so? Like, we won't go into spoilers, but do you think it's hard to say anything without going into too many spoilers? But because it's called High Score Girl, do you think she returns?
I'd be willing to bet that she eventually does.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. I feel like I just feel like that she's got to return at some point, right?
Okay.
They'll probably have a couple episodes without her, maybe. And then they'll kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Sorry about all the noise, guys.
It's It's alright.
It's just about to rain, so Lady Vance has run outside to get the wash in, and Baby Vance is upset about it.
Just, where's mommy? I gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much.
I gotcha. My kiddo's been sick the last couple of days, so I totally understand.
Yeah.
Let's put him on the microphone. He can talk about our next episode.
Yeah, exactly. What do you want to talk about, little man? Outside. I don't think that's an anime. Yeah, so I guess my recommendation is High School Girl. Definitely worth a watch. I guess is how I'd encapsulate it at the end. So.
Yeah, I agree. I say if you're on the fence, I say at least give it those couple episodes, because I was kind of like, iffing and awing about the first episode. But I think if you stick through it, the characters will grab you, and you'll definitely want to keep watching after that.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
So I see that we've got Amazon's Dororo.
I have no clue how to say it, so I was waiting for you to go first.
Yeah, so I think it's Dororo is how you say it.
Yeah.
So funnily enough, I actually knew it by a different name. So there's a game on the PlayStation called Blood Will Tell, and that's an actual version of it. It's not as because the it's sort of, at least the original series is sort of drawn in sort of like a Flintstones-esque style,
right?
And the game is definitely not a sort of like kid sort of friendly cartoonish look.
So is the game a fighting game, or?
It's kind of like sort of like Devil May Cry, but a bit more
like action adventure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that, but it's also a little bit more open world. But I wouldn't call it an open world game either. Have you played Way of the Samurai?
No.
Okay. It's sort of similar to them. But,
okay. It's like on Onimusha.
Yeah, actually, that's probably a bit more accurate. Yeah. It's kind of like if you took Onimusha and Devil May Cry and
and mix them together.
Yeah. So that's how I first got introduced to the series. But when I saw that you were watching it, I decided to go read the manga.
Right.
Which, it's actually pretty good. I finally found a complete copy of it.
Right.
The one I was reading was only like 19 chapters or something.
Okay.
But now I've found all of it, so that's good.
So now, have you watched any of it, or have you just been strictly reading it, or are you gonna wait till after you're done reading it?
I haven't watched it yet. I probably will watch a couple episodes, I reckon, at some point. I just haven't got around to doing it this period.
Right. So now it's based on a one of the same name from like the '69, I think.
Yeah. It was one of the early animes. So I think the manga came out before it as well. So
okay. Even the manga's that old.
Funny story. The guy who draws the manga, he did the Japanese Flintstones.
No way.
Yeah. So he was the guy who drew all the Japanese Flintstone characters.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a Japanese version of the Flintstones.
Either did I, but it kind of makes sense because if you see the artwork in the manga, it's very Flintstones-esque.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny when you see like them get chopped into pieces or something like that. You're like, I'm not sure if I should be horrified by that. Or...
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to, bar any judgments from the actual anime until we've both had a chance to watch it then. Because I've only watched the first episode, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe that can be our next 3 episodes.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah, cool. Because I've got an Amazon account that should be able to watch it. So.
Cool.
Oh, awesome. So, alright, so you said that you finished the first season of Seven Deadly Sins the other night.
Yeah. So, I had like 10 animes on my Netflix, and I had downloaded like the first couple episodes of a whole bunch of them, just trying to check them out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, this is just too much. I gotta just pick one here and finish it off. So, because I had Baki started the season 2,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I had Seven Deadly Sins. I was kind of like halfway through season 1, so I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna get rid of all these other ones, and I'm just gonna power through Seven Deadly Sins because it's really good. And I just wanted to get that
Yeah.
first season over with and finish the story arc of that. And yeah, I totally love that show. It's really good.
Yeah, no, it does look really cool. It's definitely on my watch list. I got to get around to watching it if I can ever get that sentence out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it looks really cool. So, and you know, you've recommended it, so I certainly trust that recommendation. So,
Yeah, it's
I'll
like
have to.
I like these. I don't know. It's like I like these ensemble casts, like this the One Piece where you have like this ragtag group, and Fairy Tale where it's like just a group. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just these type of animes that I enjoy. But this one too,
Yeah,
was the Seven Deadly Sins, and they're kind of like you get like the 6 or 7 characters that are just all different characters, and they kind of have different moves and different personalities and how they come together as a group. And it's just I enjoy that, I guess, as an anime style.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I think it's also like if you don't like a couple of characters, you've got those other characters to fall back on as well.
Right.
Most of the ensemble shows I've watched, I like all the main characters.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
Yeah, like I can't think of any characters in like One Piece or Fairy Tale that I don't like. They all have like their own kind of quirkiness, right?
Yeah, it really sort of covers the base as well. Yeah, and I can't think of anyone I dislike from either of those shows
Right.
either. The only thing I can say that I find slightly a bit over the top is sometimes Lucy's fan service is a bit extreme, like in a couple of small sections.
Oh, from Fairy Tale?
Yeah. It's just like she's getting beaten up. I don't need to see her boobs jiggle around. Thank you. Like, you know.
Well, just wait till you check out Seven Deadly Sins then,
Yeah.
because the main character's got like a groping issue. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
It kind of reminds me. Have you ever seen Kenichi's History's Strongest Disciple?
No.
So it's like a martial arts anime.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so this girl who's really good at martial arts is trying to teach him how to do defensive stances.
Yeah.
And she's like, so she's like, all right, come on, attack me. He's like, I can't attack a woman. I'm against that, which is a recurring joke throughout the series.
Right.
And then she's like, okay, you can grab my boobs. And then he's like, all right. And then when he goes through it, she shows him the defensive move.
Yeah.
It's really funny. So yeah, it's a really good show. It's actually one of my top 5 animes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's really quite good. So I guess that's a minor recommendation for the time being.
Yeah, you'll have to write that one out for me so I can get the name of it.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I'll drop in the Discord. So.
It's one of those names that you kind of hear, but it's like trying to type it out yourself is another story.
Yeah, it doesn't help that like it's translated like 3 different ways. So there's
Right.
like Kenichi, History's Strongest Disciple, History's Mightiest Disciple, and History's Greatest Disciple.
Right.
So it's like, so you look it up and you're like, which one am I meant to look up again?
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure about the Dororo, because I seen there was 2 there, and I'm like, well, they both have 24 episodes. Man, I don't know which one to watch. And then I finally noticed the date, and one was from like 69 or 79. I was like, well, that's definitely the old one. So
Yeah, it's good when they put the numbers at the end.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and my recent finish is I finished reading JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run, which is the 7th series of the manga. I was a bit reluctant because it's a reboot series. So,
Okay.
yeah, so they went back to the 1800s because the very first JoJo's is set in the 1800s.
Okay.
And but no, Steel Ball Run was actually a really big return to form for me. I think they covered everything. So
What's the Steel Ball Run thing from?
so the Steel Ball Run is a race that the people are on. So it's a horse race across America.
Okay.
And the winner gets $50 million in 1890s
Wow.
money. So everyone wants to win, of course, and
Right.
they have like certain, like they have like lengths. So like like they have like length 1, and then they kind of tally up the score from each of the lengths, and then at the final run, the person with the most score gets an advantage, and then it kind of goes down throughout the. So so like the first 10 spots get a small run advantage on the final length. But of course it's JoJo, so there's like angry dudes who pose like women. Like a lot of the JoJo characters are fairly androgynous,
right?
And there's stands, which are like they're kind of like so like they're kind of like ghosts that follow them around, but that's not an accurate version either. It's like the personification of their fighting spirit, basically. And different stands do different things. And then they also introduced a new concept called spin, which basically one of the characters can spin steel balls really fast and then throw them. And they like, either bash people, or they can be used to sort of like make your horse run faster and stuff like that. So depending on how it's used. So it was a really good series. I really enjoyed it. Because the last series, so the one before the reboot, Stone Ocean, I did not like at all. Like, I got to the end and I'm like, wow, no. So I was a bit. It took me a while to get through Steel Ball Run because I started reading it last year sometime, and I read like the first like 5 chapters, and I was like, I can't get over Stone Ocean yet. I just need to take a break.
So now you said that's like what, the 7th run on manga?
Yeah. So there's Phantom Blood, which is the first one. So they all have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in front.
Right.
And then you have oh god, how bad is that? I can't remember the second one, which is one of my favorites as well. And then you have Stardust Crusaders, Diamond is Unbreakable, Vento Avita, which is one set in Italy, so and then you have Stone Ocean and Steel Ball Run. Battle Tendency is the second one.
Right.
But the main concept stands don't get introduced till the 3rd series. The ones before that is the Ripple, which is kind of like a sort of like you breathe in a certain way and it makes you really strong and makes you able to destroy vampires and stuff like that. So
yeah, because it's one I've wanted to check out in the anime form, but like, is there that many different like sets of it in the anime form, or is it all kind of just one? Like, is it?
I think right now they're up to the 5th run, so they're up to the Italian one, because all the characters are some form of JoJo, like. So it's like Jonathan Joestar is the first JoJo, and then the next one is Joseph Joestar, and then you have Jotaro Joestar, but the 5th one is actually Giovanni Giorno. So he's Gio.
Gotcha.
But they still call it JoJo anyway. But that one for me was the one that was the hardest for me to get into at the very start, and then when I actually got past sort of like a certain point, I was like, holy crap, this one is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the best ones. So but yeah, number 6 I do not like at all. So I mean, I still recommend reading it, just I wouldn't, or watching it. I just don't have high sky expectations for it, I suppose.
So you've read them all and watched them all?
I haven't watched I've watched Stardust Crusaders because that's my favorite.
Oh, okay.
The 3rd one. But I haven't watched all of them, mostly because Phantom Blood, while I certainly recommend watching/reading it, but it's one of those things where I don't think I'd re-watch it or read it.
Right.
Like, it's important that you get the base for it, but it's probably the second weakest series, in my personal opinion. I'll probably end up watching Battle Tendency at some point, more than likely, and maybe Giorno when it's actually finished, because they have, I think it's about 3/4 of the way done at the moment.
The Steel Ball one sounds pretty interesting. It sounds like an anime version of the Cannonball Run.
Yeah, it's actually pretty similar actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So that one is not out yet
Right,
at
in
all.
anime
So,
form, yeah.
yeah. But no, it's a really good one. I think the thing that I find the funniest though is that a lot of the characters and villains are named after bands. Well, not so much, but their stands are like so. For example, oh geez, I'm trying to think of a stand name off the top of my head. Well, I mean, one of the guys has "Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap," so is the name of his stand.
Yeah.
And another guy is well, like I mean, the main one of the major villains is called Dio, like Dio Brando. So
Yeah.
he's a combination of Marlon Brando and Dio, the actual band, like the actual singer,
Right.
combined. So they do stuff like that. But the greatest one is that the president in Steel Ball Run is Funny Valentine. That's his name.
I don't get that one.
Funny Valentine by Barbra Streisand.
Oh, okay. That's a little before my time, dude.
Yeah, no, I was like, and then yeah, he's yeah. So just some of them have normal names. Like the first stands were named after the sort of tarot cards. So you had like Star Platinum, the World, Red Magician, stuff like that. So they were named after the sort of tarot cards that you can get. And then yeah, they just started naming them after bands after that. I guess because they ran out of tarot cards. Because I'm pretty sure they cover almost every tarot card in Stardust Crusaders. So, but no, it's a really good series. I'm not like completely obsessed with it because I know that there's a lot of people out there who are like, "Oh my god, JoJo!" Like,
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. I think it's a good series. So I guess if you're sort of like a bit scared off by how much people love it, just I just push past that and just I think you'll find you'll enjoy it.
I just always, when I hear people talk about like their top anime, I always find it at least in the top 10. So it's something I've been wanting to check out.
Yeah, I'd certainly put it in the top 10 of mangas that I've read. Most certainly, easily. In fact. So yeah. How's Baki going for you?
So I finished off season 1, of course, and then we had that weird kind of ending. How it introduces Oliver at the season 2.
Yeah.
Now I'm almost done season 2. I don't want. It's like whether we give spoilers or not, but let's just say Baki just became a man. So
really?
You watched season 2, right?
I haven't watched season 2 yet, but I'm okay. I'm not a big spoiler person.
Yeah,
so let's just. I still like watching it.
Yeah. So let's just say he finally became a man, and so things are kind of.
That explains. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say, things kind of finally fall into place for him now. He's kind of that part of his life's kind of settled now, so he can focus on other things. So.
Yeah. Because I have to admit, because in season 1 it actually has a warning of sexual content.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I watched the whole of season 1, and I'm like, unless you count the Russian guy who briefly appeared naked, only arsely, as a sex scene, I don't know. But no, okay, fair enough. So, well, that explains that rating.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've been enjoying it. I find season 2 hasn't been nearly as like graphic as season 1. I find like I find it's been a lot more story in season 2.
Yeah.
So that's good. I'm eager to kind of finish that off now and to find out what happens at the end. And then I might even I've been enjoying it so much I probably will go back and watch Baki the Grappler. So.
Yeah, which is actually a pretty good series. Because I'm up to the Tournament Saga, which is the one just before the new Baki.
Right.
That being said, I will warn you that it has probably one of the worst intros I've ever heard in my life. At least the second season. Because I was reading as a manga, as you know, but the manga, I can't find the back half of it anywhere.
Right.
So I had to watch the Tournament Saga through the website that you linked me to, which thank you very much for that. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to watch it. But yeah, it's a it's a good series. Terrible intro. Like,
I wasn't too fond of the Baki intro either, but it kind of grew on me over the past season or two.
the Baki intro comparatively absolutely kills.
Yeah.
The Baki the Grappler Tournament Saga intro. Like, because there's two series. There's Baki the Grappler, and there's Baki, and it's like the Japanese like Sen no Tournament
Okay.
Saga or something.
Yeah.
Or is that or Sen Tournament Detsu, I think is the name of it, which is the actual tournament saga. So
Okay, so like Baki the Grappler is not the actual tournament that they allude to in the first season?
well, basically, I think the first series is kind of because in the manga at least it covers sort of like his path to becoming champion,
Right.
because and then they have the tournament and sort of cover that. Is basically how it works, and then he's because when the series first starts, it starts off and it's like he's already fighting the underground arena and he's the champion basically. So
Right.
then they kind of have a rewind and go, all right, this is how he sort of got to there, and then they have the massive tournament because Tokugawa is like, I want to see people beat the crap out of each other and they're going to be like the best.
Yeah.
So Baki is technically the champion throughout that tournament,
Right.
but still, like, yeah, because he's sort of already stuck there.
Yeah.
So the first series is really about his sort of like the path there, but you already know he's already made it there.
Right.
So it's kind of like a flashback. It covers more about his father, which Yojiro, who is like the most badass man ever.
Yeah.
Like, he's definitely top 10 most badass anime characters, I think.
Yeah, he's quite the creep too. You'll see later.
Oh yeah, I know. Trust me, from what I've seen currently, he's already quite off-putting. So yeah, I can't imagine he gets much better. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, I definitely recommend it as a show. Just skip the opening, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. It's like I said, it's again, it's not really one of my something I'd be into like the high score girl, but it's something that's kind of like as long as I find it's as long as you stick with it a couple episodes to get into the characters and stuff, the story will grab you if you give it a chance. Like,
yeah, that's why I always have the 3-episode rule, because I find that if you're not grabbed by the end of episode 1, there's a chance that episode 1 is always kind of like a setup episode.
Yeah, for sure.
And then 2 is sort of like where they start introducing the ideas of what the characters are sort of about. And 3 is when you kind of get into what's going on in the actual kind of arc of the season,
Yeah.
So that's why I came up with the 3-episode rule, because there was some series that I watched like an episode of and I was like, oh, that's crap. And someone convinced me to watch it with them. And I watched a couple extra episodes. I'm like, okay, no, this is actually really good.
Have you found many animes where you tried watching like 3, 4, 5 episodes and you still couldn't get into it and you just had to stop?
There has been a couple. I can't 100% remember the names, but there's this one where it sounds really cool, right? So basically these schools, they're all like kind of military schools, and they do mock battles with each other. So it's like school supremacy, and they all get dressed up in armor and like have mock wars and crap like that. And it sounded really awesome. And the first episode was quite good. And then the next episode is just like kind of like your stereotypical harem anime, where there's one guy and all the girls want to be with him, and all that kind of stuff. And then suddenly the battles are 86 out of almost the whole series. And I was watching it with Lady Vamps, and we kind of called it a day when the first set of boobs made an appearance, as in actually made an appearance.
Yeah.
And we were kind of like, what is this? Is this what we think it is? It was basically, for equivalent, softcore hentai.
Oh, okay.
And we were like, no, we're good. Like, and it started out really promising. I can't remember the name of it now, but and then there was the the Final Fantasy anime, as I've mentioned it before.
Oh yeah. With the ammo.
I could probably watch the whole series and still think that it's not very good.
You stuck out the whole series.
I mean, I didn't see it all, but I probably could have watched the whole series and still thought it was bad. I don't think there would be a turning point. Recently, I really liked when I was younger the Digimon anime. And I rewatched it recently, and I'm like, wow, this is not so great.
Not aged well.
No. Once you kind of watch 3 episodes, you realize that every episode after that has the same plot point for about 20 episodes. As in, they go to a new area, they find more powerful Digimon harassing smaller Digimon. One of their Digimon digivolves, they win, then they go on to the next area and do it all over again. Which, I guess maybe that's acceptable for Saturday morning cartoons, but it's certainly not something you want to watch in a row.
Right. Yeah, especially when you're watching it all at the same time, or...
Yeah, exactly. Which is what I was doing, because friends downloaded all of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't get around to watching it until long after he'd kind of not been a roommate anymore. And I started watching it with Lady Vamps when we first started dating. I'm like, oh, yeah, Digimon. We're like, yay, Digimon. Like, oh, shit. Like, not so Digimon.
Yeah, but Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon are the same.
I'd still argue that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has got some pretty good episodes here and there. Also, you get Maximilian Pegasus. Like, come on. Ooh, Yu-Gi boy. I'm going to drink fruit juice and read comics. Ooh. Like, but yeah, I'd be willing to argue that I don't think Pokemon was ever particularly a great anime, personally. Like, I didn't think much of it back in the day, personally.
Yeah.
I thought Ash Ketchum was an idiot. Like,
those are fighting words.
Oh, really? You're an Ash Ketchum man?
No, not really, but I'm sure there's like a ton of people out there who would beg to differ for Pokemon.
Yeah. I would be willing to like, the thing is, I'm always willing to have a discussion about it. I'm happy to discuss my point of view. My thing is that the dude basically is not a very good Pokemon trainer.
Yeah,
he seems like a nice enough guy. I have no problem with Ash Ketchum as a person,
right?
But as a Pokemon trainer, he's terrible.
Seems like shit.
Yeah, I mean, he gives away most of his really powerful Pokemon, and then he's just kind of like, I don't know. Like, and no joke, every freaking series I've watched, there's always an episode where he tries to attack, so he'll have like Pikachu and he'll have him attack like a Diglett, and he'll be like, why didn't that work? And then someone goes, Ash, you idiot, you can't attack a Pokemon that is immune or it's not very effective against them. Use different Pokemon. By the time the 3rd series happens, he should be the one telling other people.
Yeah, but he's still doing it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I caught up to Sun and Moon where he tried to have a fire type Pokemon attack a water type Pokemon or something like that. I'm like, dude, come on, man! You're meant to be like 14 now in canon. You should know type advantage.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Dragon Ball Z still holds up pretty well though. Gonna give that one the old tick.
Yeah, I gotta go back and check that out too. But there's too many other animes out there right now.
And that's the thing is, we, especially like in Western culture, we've kind of hit an anime sort of renaissance. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
And there's so many that are really good too. Like, don't get me wrong, there's still shit ones.
Right.
Comparatively, like.
I know, it's like, and now you have like Amazon and Netflix, and they're busting out like, like originals that are like really good and high quality, and
yeah, I mean the Godzilla anime is I've only seen one episode, but that was pretty damn solid.
That's the one that's three episodes, right?
Yeah.
Joey was telling me about that a few episodes ago.
And I mean, I love Godzilla, so
he just
scratched my itch.
He just went to the movies tonight to see the Godzilla movie.
Yes. I'm interested to see how that one goes, because I didn't really enjoy the last one they did. Like, I thought it was decent, but I thought it was a bit underacted. So I'm
Right.
interested to see how this one goes. I'm hoping they kind of learnt from some of the feedback they've got.
Yeah, he said it was pretty good. So.
Alright, cool. Because we want to see Godzilla like beat people up. We don't want to see random human rain away from Godzilla and Moth Monster in the background.
This sounds like a lot of like monster on monster action.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We want to see monsters going at it and wrecking shit.
Yeah.
So and then of course now as well, Crunchyroll for Americans and Anime Lab for us Australians. Well, I think you'd have Crunchyroll. I'm pretty sure would be your sort of main one.
Probably, yeah. That's the one here.
Yeah. So Anime Lab is actually made by Madman, which is the distribution company for anime.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, here I'm not sure if you guys have Madman.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but
yeah. So they're like the distribution company. So they actually own Anime Lab, which is kind of cool. So because they do all the distribution down here as well, which is quite nice. So anytime they distribute an anime, it's like it's on Anime Lab.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, it's also pretty cheap. It's only like $10 Australian, which is quite cheap. I think Crunchyroll for me is like 15.
Yeah, I haven't looked into Crunchyroll yet.
Yeah, I got like 30-month free because of the Twitch Prime thing. So I was like, oh yeah, well, might as well. Right. So so there's just a lot to go around, and there's a lot more companies as well that are producing too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're spoiled for choice now. It's not like the 3 shows on the foreign channel.
Yeah, for sure.
Foreign language channel that they decided to show.
So what do you got coming up this week? What are you kind of getting into or continuing this week?
Well, I'd like to finish off the Doro, which I reckon get done. There's only like 4 or 5 chapters left.
Right.
So I'd like to also watch. Well, we'll watch the anime, obviously.
Yeah.
I'd like to finish Baki off for sure. I'll try and get that done this week, and I'll probably see if I can fit a couple more episodes of High Score Girl in while I'm at it. So, as far as new stuff, I don't think there's much on my list. I've been keeping up with the One Punch manga. I think that's about the newest sort of thing I've been keeping up with.
Right.
Mob Psycho 100, yeah. Lady Vamps' uncle, who's also a big anime fan, recommended we watch Mob Psycho 100 as an anime, because I've read the manga, which is really good, by the way. So that's the other one that the One Punch guy does.
Yeah, I seen that Mob Psycho 100 somewhere, and I can't remember where I seen it, but I seen like a picture of it somewhere.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's basically Mob is the psychic version of Saitama, except unlike Saitama, he's got to be sort of pushed far enough to sort of hit that phase. And the guy did say that though, if Mob fought Saitama, the winner would be Saitama, basically guaranteed.
Yeah,
but he's pretty powerful.
Cool.
So it's another one of those ones where it's like, if anyone else wrote this, Mob would be a boring character, but because it's the guy who wrote One Punch, he's really good at writing these cosmically powerful characters who are really interesting at the same time.
Right.
So Mob is a really interesting character. So certainly give that a whirl.
Yeah, I'll have to give that a check out.
Yeah. So so that's pretty much what I've got on my plate for this week. How about yourself? What are you looking at?
Well, I'm gonna take a break from Seven Deadly Sins now that I finished season 1. I'm gonna finish off Baki season 2.
Yeah.
I've been back into One Piece, so I'm kind of like hovering around like the 300 episode mark. I want to finish off the arc I'm at now, at least get through that one. Yeah. So. And then I probably will continue with High Score Girl too, just to see where that goes. So
yeah,
I'm curious.
I mean, the first season is only 12 episodes as well. So
right, and we're already through 3 now, right? So
Yeah, exactly. So we're a fourth of the way there.
And that Dororo, like after watching the first episode, man, it looks really awesome. Plus, the story is so like weird and like, yeah, just I want to continue to see what happens there too. So
the story is definitely. Well, I don't think I've ever actually read or seen anything quite like it. It's a very sort of unique concept.
yeah,
Yeah, or at least it's unique in the amount it sort of goes that distance. Like,
right.
yeah. So
So it just leaves you wondering like how this character is gonna like do anything, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think it's very much the human spirit adapts.
Yeah,
is sort
for
of
sure.
Like the underlying tone of it.
yeah.
Yeah, but I guess we'll talk about it more next week. So
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll both watch 3 episodes and then we'll discuss it next week for sure.
yeah, sounds good.
All right, so that's pretty much it for us tonight then, unless you got something else.
No, I think we've covered everything. Can't think of anything else. I think good anime is the theme of this episode.
Yes,
which is great.
good anime and lots of it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. We'll catch you next week.
Yeah, no worries. Catch you
All
then,
right,
man.
and later.
All right, bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find the show on all your favorite podcast apps: Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and Spotify. Just search The Grand Line. If you want to send us a comment, correction, or a question, feel free, or suggest an anime for us to check out. Email us at grandlinecast@hotmail.com. You can also check out the show over at grandlinecast on Twitter. And you can follow Vamps and myself on Twitter and Twitch. And all our links are in the podcast description below. Have a good night, everybody.